Yep.
Literally, it said, "I swear I keep hearing Yiddish under the floor in my New York apartment. I live at ground level and we have no basement." And he's like, Richard Stroker again says, "I am not crazy." And here it is, dude. I mean, the dude's crawling out.
They're finding people in full-on Orthodox Jewish, worship wear,
regalia,
crawling out of Brooklyn tunnels.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Ward Radio for your morning cup of Carden. This is Beyond a Cup of Carden. This is an Ellis energy drink. I'm in the studio with Kwaku L, who has brought us the craziest story out of New York. They've discovered secret underground tunnels underneath the Brooklyn Heights Synagogue. There are secret Jewish tunnels. I don't know how else to say that. Yep. And they've been used to hide Jews, and they got discovered, and now there's a riot that broke out between police and law enforcement about these. I don't know. It almost sounds like a conspiracy theory, but there's Jews rioting against NYPD about the discovery of these tunnels. And apparently people had heard them chanting underground and had thought that it was just a conspiracy, but they've been vindicated. I'm not repeating this correctly. Kwaku, tell us what's going on.
So, it's about as weird as it sounds. There's no way we can deliver this information without it sounding weird.
Without sounding like Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that there's space lasers. Like, what is this?
Basically, for the it seems to be. And by the way, news is still coming out. So by tonight, the story may develop way more after we post this, right? So because news is still coming out. But so far, it seems that the facts are that underneath the Brooklyn Heights Synagogue was a tunnel that was being built, and they've been building it for a couple months, that was going into, we're not sure, mystery directions. But it was an active tunnel being used by Jewish people. We don't know why. Yeah. But apparently these were not little prison tunnels where you're just like they were full on active working tunnels you can walk and run through. And as the police were investigating this, they couldn't believe what they were finding, because the police were like, how am I going to go back to the chief and tell him I think I found a Jewish tunnel? It's like imagine the call. Hey, Donnie, we found these tunnels, and I've seen a lot of Star Davids on here. Are these Jewish tunnels? Is that a thing? Am I going to sound crazy?
Yeah, dude. So look at this. I mean, these Jewish guys are fighting back.
So they tried to block. No. So they tried to block the police from entering in. So they started taking the pews and the wood and barricading up so the police couldn't get in. So the police are ripping down the pews and the wood so they can get into the synagogue to find the tunnels. So I found a tweet from a guy. Well, it's an account. Put the screenshot of a tweet from a guy who in December and November felt like he was going crazy.
Yeah, here it is right here. I'm zooming in up close so the audience can see it. But this guy literally said, LMFA 000, turns out he wasn't lying. And Richard Stoker, literally it said, "I swear I keep hearing Yiddish under the floor in my New York apartment. I live at ground level and we have no basement." And he's like, Richard Stroker again says, "I am not crazy." And here it is, dude. I mean, the dude's crawling out.
They're finding people in full-on Orthodox Jewish, worship wear,
regalia,
crawling out of Brooklyn tunnels. Look at him. He gets out of it, and they're filming him, and he knocks the camera out of their hand and runs.
Dude.
Okay, so I have no clue what any of this means. But if you were to tell me that I was going to wake up and get the news that there are active Jewish tunnels, so no one knows what it means, but it is objectively funny.
And I gotta say, this actually kind of resonates with me, because what's really interesting is a lot of kind of underground archaeology in the Middle East underneath some of these cities is kind of done that way. There's been families who have, like families in Petra, that they've purchased old Nabatean, like literally apartments, like that might date back 2,000 years, cut out of the side of a mountain. That's actual real estate in Jordan, And while trying to remodel that cave, I met a guy who found a crypt behind a false wall that had like Koine Greek written on the side. And then, it's like, well, okay, are the cool things we find inside that we can sell to archaeological and antiquities dealers, is that ours? Is it the government of Jordan's? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gray area there. And there's also people that in Jerusalem have dug down underneath their houses, almost like, who's that big YouTuber that put a basement in his house in England? Colin Furs. I think is his name. Yeah. Sure. Like Colin Furs. Anyway, they've done archaeology digging down because, Jerusalem's been completely destroyed at least 5 or 6 times, been invaded or ransacked 12 or 13 in the past 2,000 millennia. So you actually have to dig down almost 16 feet. To 20 feet just to get to the mosaic floor during the Roman period when Jesus was there, right? So there's people that have done archaeology in their own houses just by digging down, and underneath Manhattan, it's just pure granite, man. They sometimes find natural underground tunnels that are actually part of the underground river system and stuff like that. But the fact that there was some kid just named Richard Stroker who literally was hearing Yiddish.
He's like making ramen noodles at 9 p.m. after work. He's tired, and he just hearing like, and he's like, what, am I going crazy? What's happening? And imagine telling your friends
Hava Nagila in the middle of the night from an underground tunnel.
I'm hearing fiddles and Yiddish under my floorboards. Am I? And they're like, do you have one of those special cookies? Like, people are probably thinking. So, turns out it's real. And they were not happy about the NYPD. Now, the NYPD so far haven't busted them doing anything like illegal, but they're just investigating because they're like,
I don't know, excavation underneath a skyscraper. That's pretty crazy. But look at this.
Yeah, but like,
there's the hole in the wall.
I mean, like drugs. Like, is it like,
like
we don't know what they're doing, but they're like, okay, but you guys have secret tunnels for a reason. You don't have them just for fun.
Which, by the way, I fully support the Jewish congregation having whatever secret tunnels they want. You know what I'm
the fact
saying?
they pulled that off for months is really impressive.
So look at this though. So there's the hole in the wall that they're trying to keep the cops from getting into. Okay, and these cops are having to literally crawl over the Torah, like. The what are these, the pews? I don't know what the term is in a synagogue, but now what's hilarious is look at that guy right there. He's just singing. That dude right there is just singing as the cop. He's like, Hava Nagila Hava. He's probably just totally, just like, singing the chant. He's singing the Come Come Ye Saints.
Yeah.
While Buchanan's blunder is happening. And this was hilarious. Look at these guys fighting back, overturning their pews. This is nuts. This is like the draft riots in Brooklyn, man.
No, it's pretty wild. Like, so I don't know what it means, but it's really funny.
Yeah, so
it is objectively hilarious. The sentence "I found Jewish tunnels" is like out of an Adam Sandler movie. You know what I mean?
I found secret Jewish tunnels.
That also sounds like an Alex Jones rant.
Yeah,
well,
it
they're
does.
not going to tell you. Is they have secret Jewish tunnels in Brooklyn, and what they use them for. And you're like, what are you, Alex? What are you talking about?
Twitter,
wow!
If you look on Twitter, there's people that have heard Yiddish being spoken from underneath their basements, and these. And by the way, just so you know, Joe, these are apartment buildings that have no basements, and there is Yiddish coming from underneath the ground.
I saw a video of a rabbi crawling out of a hole in the ground. Running away from the cameraman. You're like, Alex, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, no. So, I don't know what it means. We'll give you updates as the story develops, I guess, but...
Yeah.
It is really funny.
If there's anything you got to look out for underneath, some kind of basement level apartment, they say crime. They say crime, Joe, is worse at the base level, but there's something worse, and they are secret Jewish tunnels. Like that.
Also...
That you can't make up.
And here's the other thing about this. The timing's terrible. Because right now, we have a rise in anti-Semitism in the country.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys.
Oh, no.
This was not the right time. People are literally saying things openly on Twitter and in Instagram and like, I don't trust Jewish people. They're secretive and they're always planning evil things. It's it's like, okay, well, hey, at least nothing weird's going to happen in the media that's going to allow anti-Semites to run with this. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh. No. Secret tunnel.
Have you seen the tunnels underneath the LA temple, bro? Have you seen those?
No. And they have in Salt Lake.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
We've got Mormon tunnels, but we tell you about them. Like, that's the thing. We tell you they're there.
It's also, it's what connects the boiler room and all of, because like in the old buildings.
I've been in them, and there's parking lots and stuff. It's
pretty cool.
It's most like an underground like parking, but still, like, I get it. So, yeah, it just, like, this was just like, if maybe a year ago, you know what I mean? Like, this would be discovered, it would just be kind of a funny thing, but there are real anti-Semites that are going to run with this. So
I feel
bad
like,
timing.
Yeah, bad timing. But you know what? This is what gives my heart some solace. I feel like if the Fed ever came in and tried to crash a party here at Ward Radio and we had to fight back, I kind of feel like, you know, like Brad, he'd be chanting to us right there. He'd be keeping the spirits alive.
Also, can we talk about how they're winning against the cops?
That's the other thing, dude.
Can we talk about how the cops can't contain? Look at if I saw 50 guys with those hats and beards charging at me, flipping pews at me, I would be like, they're winning.
Yeah, now we know exactly what Christ looked like when he overturned the tables in the court of the Gentiles.
This is Maccabees
at the temple.
This is the book of Maccabees.
Yeah,
this is like when they were fighting.
This is awesome. This made my day.
Yeah.
This literally made my day, seeing a bunch of our Jewish brothers and sisters just not letting the man keep them down, just fighting back against the system. And
I really hope the tunnels weren't for something horrible and this episode doesn't come to bite us in the butt.
Yeah, totally, for real. And by the way, that cop came prepared. Look, he's got all of the plastic handcuffs. And you know what all those cops are thinking, though? They're just like, we are in the middle of a Jewish synagogue and we're going to have to start arresting people. And there's somebody with a video camera here. And I
learned about this in history class. It was not good.
Just, you know, they're all sweating bullets, wondering about their jobs. Is they going to do something that's going to get them deported to HR? You know, this was wild. It made my day. This was wild. Please.
Imagine being the cop's wife when he comes home tonight. What happened
you
at work today?
TV? Oh. You arrested the rabbi.
What we found it, well, honey. We found the tunnel. It was inside of a synagogue. What? Yeah.
So man.
So I have no clue what's gonna happen. I'm excited to see this develop because it's just you don't get stories like this that much in the news.
We are gonna. You know, they always say it's a stupid end phrase. Is the last thing I'll say, and I hate it when people sign off, but they say like, "We'll keep you updated on this unfolding event," and you know it's garbage because you know they say that 50 times, they never come back to it. We are going to come back to this.
Yeah, we have.
I want to know what on earth. By the way, the hilarious part is I've lived in Brooklyn. One of the most beautiful things I've ever participated in was actually a Shabbat Shalom service at the Central Synagogue in New York City. I think it's beautiful and I think it's lovely. Now that is more conservative Jewish instead of being Orthodox Jew like you see here. That's obviously a different denomination of Judaism. But one of those beautiful things I've ever done is participate in services at the Central Synagogue in New York. In fact, I was actually going to take Hebrew classes there. But then I ended up moving out of New York, and so it never ended up happening, right? But Jewish people in New York. I mean, there's more Jewish people in New York than there is in Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely know there is in Buenos Aires, but they all speak English. Like they're all Americans. Oh no, not they're all. You know what I'm saying? But Brooklyn, it's New York. It is America. They're born here. They're citizens and things like that.
Right,
but
right.
The fact that dude in his apartment was hearing Yiddish. You know, like, and he's not just hearing, like, when they speak, they sound like New Yorkers, you know, but then all of a sudden you're hearing, like, what did he hear that he just ostensibly recognized as Yiddish? You know, was it like, well, quit schlepping that down the tunnel? You know,
well, here's the thing. Like, if I came to someone and I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I stumbled across, like a secret network of Hindu bounce houses. You know what I mean? You'd be like, what? Like, I don't have to tell you this, but I'm very positive it's a Hindu bounce house and it's like in my neighbor's backyard and they're not letting. That's the equivalent. Like, it's like it's specific enough where you know it when you hear it, but you never thought you'd ever have to look for it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So anyway, let us know what you guys think. Did this make your day like it made mine?
Like if you heard like a trampoline, and then Krishna Krishna, you go, are those Hindu trampolines? Is that am I crazy or am I hearing Hindu trampolines?
A festival of colors going on underneath a secret bounce house. You know, that's funny. Okay. So anyway, this made my day. I hope nobody was hurt. Like, you know, all joking aside, we obviously hope that everybody was okay. We hope that nobody's religious freedoms were imposed upon. We hope that the security of the buildings around him was maintained. I don't even know what I'm supposed to hope on this. I just know that we're going to follow this story. So anyway, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We bring you all kinds of cool stuff like this. And obviously for this and more, please check us out on wardradio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring. I got a parking spot right outside. Step into my brand new ride.